A warm one today around town, the perfect day for a Mariners midweek matinee. It's the rubber game of the series. It's the Mariners and the Cincinnati Reds. Mariners TV is presented by PIMCO. The Mariners trying to win their second straight series out of the All-Star break. Let's get you caught up on what's happened so far in the first two games. The Reds come to town, and with them, they bring the good vibes. Watch out, Bone. Gino's coming for you. Yeah, big hugs with his former infield coach, Perry Hill. And a lot of love inside the ballpark, of course, for the one and only Eugenio Suarez. But Angie, let's not bury the lead. What happened Monday night? It was one big swing from this man, Cal Raleigh.
I love this home run so much for Cal Raleigh because they walk Don Canzone in front of him. They had the lefty on lefty matchup. What does he do? First pitch he sees, takes it into the seats and left. That was just such a great moment for Cal Raleigh. Let's hope that's the point that kind of turns his season around.
Mariners win game one in a lap for 8-0, a shutout victory over the Cincinnati Reds. We take you back to last night, game two. Elly De La Cruz, the first leadoff home run for the Reds this season. Both these teams leading baseball in percentage of runs scored via the homer, and we saw that in full effect last night.
Well, De La Cruz is somebody that you don't want to let get extended, and unfortunately we've seen Gino do this so many times, but this time in red, the wrong color.
On the other side, the Mariners were due for some home runs as well, and the Mariners were being shut out late until this from Weston Wilson.
Oh, Burns is just really difficult. The Mariners had a hard time against him, but once they got to the bullpen, it's Wilson getting it done, and then Julio Rodriguez comes off the bench and has a couple of fantastic at-bats, both of them with exit velocities of over 100 miles per hour.
So that home run brought the Mariners within a run, but then in the top of the ninth inning, the former Ranger Nathaniel Noe, really impressive home run the opposite way. That made it 4-2, and that would be the final score in this series, tied 1 game each. Welcome back inside T-Mobile Park. Aaron Goldsmith alongside Angie Mentink. Angie, the Mariners taking 2 out of 3 against the Giants. A chance today to take 2 out of 3 against the Reds.
Well, with the Mariners and the Texas Rangers playing leapfrog, it seems like every single day. We talked about the importance of these two series against the Giants and now the Cincinnati Reds before they go to Texas. They took the series against the Giants. This is 2 underperforming teams. Now they've got to go do it today against the Reds.
Lineups looked a little bit different recently. Some injuries to Julio that we talked about. Also J.P. Crawford. For an update on that, we take you down to the Ford Sports Desk. What's going on, Hyphen?
Yeah, Aaron, first of all, good to see Julio back in the lineup and getting the start today. He didn't start yesterday, but he hit that home run. But not all the way back just yet. He's not playing center field. He's going to be DH. And J.P. Crawford, the good news is he was playing catch before the game. So they're hoping he's going to be with the off day in Texas. Hopefully good to go, but still nursing that sore wrist. He's going to get the day off today, Aaron.
All right, Hyphen, thanks for the update. Yes, hopeful to see J.P. Crawford back at it when the Mariners hit the road and begin that series in Arlington. This homestand has had a lot of really excellent starting pitching, not a surprise for the Mariners. It's Emerson Hancock who will get the ball today.
And Emerson Hancock, the last time we saw him, he did something I hope we never see him do again. This comeback over 100 miles per hour, he knocks it down, gets the out, but unfortunately he had to come out of the game. The good news, the x-rays were negative. Good to see him smile after that one, but that one stung. He had the extra time because of the Midsummer Classic, and then they moved him to the back end of the rotation. So the good news is he didn't have to spend any time on the IL, and he's back out there today for the finale.
A couple of former first-round draft picks out of the SEC facing off against one another today, as Emerson Hancock, 6th overall out of Georgia. Brady Singer, former first-round draft pick out of Florida, will get the ball today for the Reds, the former Kansas City Royal. Well, there are plenty of familiar faces that have shared the uniform of the Mariners and the Reds, and of course you got to start with Sweet Lou. World Series title as the skipper for the Reds, 10 years with the Mariners, winningest manager in franchise history. Gotta love one of the all-timers, Lou Piniella. Mariners TV is brought to you by Emerald Queen Casino. SNL alum and hilarious stand-up comedian Pete Davidson comes to Emerald Queen Casino August 28th. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. By the Washington Traffic Safety Commission. Before you drive, put your phone out of reach and stay focused on the road. And by Jack in the Box, Jack's new Philly-style bonus Jack combo, shaved steak, grilled onions and peppers, and melty cheese, starting at $5.99. Beautiful day, final game of the series. We take you back to last night around the majors with today's Real Fast.
Michael goes up. He's got it. He somehow holds on.
He's got it. He always has it.
This one gonna go. ball. Second of the ninth for Manny Machado.
He's heating up.
Forget that. That is way out of here. Back and back with authority. What a blast. Did Hunter get it off? You bet he did. How big was that? Coming over, diving, and he makes the catch.
First ever game in left field, no problem.
Out of the room, it's a 3-run homer. Yandy Diaz in his 1,000th career game.
That is back, and that is very gone. A mammoth blast in Atlanta. There's one. There's two. There's three. Triple play.
Perfectly done.
Hill's going back. It's into the trees. Straightaway shot from Muncy.
It's a tie game. The man who calls Arizona home becomes public enemy number one.
Vargas delivers in the clutch, and the Diamondbacks walk off the A's 6-5.
All kinds of stuff going on around the league last night. Mariners and the Reds in the series finale, the deciding game of 3 coming up next. Mariners TV is presented by PIMCO.
Politicians in this city.
Mariners TV is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, home of the F-150, America's best-selling truck for 49 years. By Virginia Mason Franciscan Health, make a play for your health with the Mariners' trusted sports medicine provider. And by Steel, the official outdoor power equipment of the Seattle Mariners. Final game of the homestand. It has been a good homestand so far for the Mariners, trying to win their second consecutive series coming out of the All-Star break. Beautiful Seattle sunshine, man, a warm one once again. Rangers winning last night, winning in lopsided fashion against the White Sox. So the Rangers back in first place. The Mariners a half game behind Texas. Mariners have tomorrow off, and then we'll begin a 4-game series in Arlington. It's Emerson Hancock who gets the ball today for the Mariners and a chance to win a series.
Hopefully it's a well-rested Emerson Hancock. He has been so good with his 4-seam fastball. Opponents hitting just $172 against it, and he is throwing that pitch a ton here in July, almost 50% of the time here in July. He is one of just a handful of pitchers in the league, Aaron, right now, who is holding opponents under 200 against 3 pitches. His 4-seamer I just mentioned, his cutter, and his sweeper. In fact, his sweeper has been filthy. They're hitting just $137 against that pitch.
It's been a breakout year for the former first-round draft pick Emerson Hancock. He faces this Reds lineup that leads off with, as always, Elly De La Cruz. Eugenio Suarez is not in the lineup today. Instead, Key Brian Hayes is at third and bats ninth for Terry Francona. De La Cruz, a leadoff home run in yesterday's game, his 17th this year. Well, sometimes baseball can be very complicated. Other times it's incredibly straightforward and simple. The Reds did not homer in game 1. They were shut out. The Reds hit 3 homers yesterday, accounting for 3 of their 4 runs, and they won the game. This is a team that does not manufacture runs very well. They are 28th in average. They are 24th in on base. They're 5th in home runs.
Yes, the good news is the Mariners did a good job of limiting the damage. All of them were leadoff home runs, though. So, you know, Elly, we talked about it, led off the game with it. It was Gino Suarez who led off the 4th inning with the solo shot. And in the 9th inning, it was Nathaniel Lowe who led off that inning with a solo shot.
Trying to keep Cincinnati in the ballpark. 2-1. Evens the count. Fastball beneath the zone. 2-2. Mariners winning game 1. Reds winning last night in game 2. Plenty of power at the top with De La Cruz and Stewart. 20 home runs waiting on deck. This is drifting into foul territory. J.P. Crawford out of the lineup once again today. Weston Wilson taking his spot over at third. He gives that a look, but it's into the crowd. So Wilson, who was picked up not all that long ago by the Mariners, getting some extended playing time here as J.P. figures out a wrist situation. We heard from Hyphen a few moments ago in the pregame. Mariners are hoping that tomorrow's day off will help J.P. as well, and that he'll be ready to go by the time the Mariners get to Arlington on Friday. Full count to the leadoff man, De La Cruz. Trying to keep the bases empty for that man, Sal Stewart, waiting. On a 3-2. And instead, a leadoff walk to De La Cruz.
That is not the guy you want to put on base. We've talked about his speed throughout this series. He's now got 15 stolen bases. He picked up his 15th yesterday.
Sal Stewart, an all-star this year in his first big league season, takes that two-seamer running inside. Last time we saw Emerson Hancock, we didn't see him for long. He was up on the mound in Tampa Bay to finish out the first half, and a comebacker right back to the mound. He tried to make a play on it with his bare hand, and that ball made contact with his bare hand. He stayed in, but then eventually had to leave Hyphen as we go down to the Ford Sports Desk. All right, Ryan, so if you are Hancock, you've certainly had time to heal up. Do we think that this is all behind him now and it's all systems go?
I hope so, and you'll see pretty early here when you're moving full speed, right? So he hit through the one bullpen and then kind of like a touch and feel after that. Only a couple times, but he came back from the break. He went home, came back on that Friday, looked like it was pretty much all healed up. Got off the mound once, but that's at 60-70% effort level. This is all of a sudden game speed. So you're curious here, and he walks that leadoff hitter. See what that command looks like.
Falls behind Stewart, and that fastball running in on him. 2-2 now.
Velocity looks good. The other pitch to look out for is that sweeper. See what kind of command and feel he has for that. Was that middle finger? He's going to put that pressure on to try and spin that breaking ball.
Yeah, he really talked about that's where the baseball got him, is right at the base of that middle finger, Ryan. You're right.
Count even on the Reds' first baseman, Sal Stewart. Naylor able to get a glove on that one, a little wide of the mark. Now, De La Cruz, one of the great runners in the game. He missed time this year on the injured list. First time he's ever been on the IL. And he was on the shelf with a hamstring injury, which you'd think would maybe slow him down a little bit. He did have a stolen base the other night. 37 bags last year. This ball is scooped into short left field. Colt Emerson with the sunglasses on and those stirrups pulled up high makes the catch. First out of the ball game today.
And he gets it on the sweeper. We were talking about that pitch and the effectiveness of it, and out number one comes via it.
That pitch has been so much better in the month of July too. He was struggling with that for a little bit. Once he got through that first month of the season, it was so elite. I think he leaned on it so heavily. He lost that feel for it, but he's gotten it back his last handful of starts.
Well, there goes De La Cruz. This ball is shot foul. So what was the difference between the sweeper when it was good and when it was not as good?
I just think, we've talked a lot about his arm angle, right? That new arm angle we've seen this year. I think a lot has to do with that, trying to be consistent, that same release point. And I think the sweeper was, affected the most by it. Just trying to keep, because it was slipping down a little bit lower than what it actually was. He was just trying to calibrate, that arm angle, that release point. I think the sweeper, was affected by that.
Oh, 2 to Blade, the former Athletic. 16 home runs on the season. Just got a piece of that back foot sweeping slider. Oh, 2 count to the Reds left fielder, number 3 man J.J. Blade, former first rounder out of Vanderbilt years ago. Count sets up a little bit outside. Blade goes down on a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, about the top rung velocity from Emerson Hancock. Rushing it home there.
And this is a good early indicator as to where Emerson is. 98 miles per hour, like you said, that's about as good as his velocity gets. And it's so important. You look at what he has been able to do innings 1 through 5 when he has that velocity. We see in the 6th inning when that velocity dips, particularly on that 4-seam fastball, he's allowed almost as many home runs in that 6th inning when that velocity starts to dip as he allowed in innings 1 through 5.
This is a rule to ball, and Cal Raleigh thinking that was very much inside the strike zone. ABS powered by T-Mobile. Chalk one up for the big
Seattle
number.
has 2 challenges remaining.
Bill Miller, crew chief, our home plate umpire today.
Yeah, I'm thinking after the altercation that he and Caleb Ferguson had coming out of the bullpen, Caleb Ferguson, if he gets in this game, better hope that they have both of their ABS challenges available.
A pitch out there. Steers sends it high and foul. Now there are plenty of teams looking for a right-handed bat at the deadline, and Spencer Steers' name is one that has come up routinely as we are getting near the, what is it now, the August 3rd trade deadline?
It is so strange to say August 3rd.
De La Cruz on his way to second base, and he gets there without a throw. He was been itching to run. He swipes bag number 16.
Well, you got a couple things here working against Cal Raleigh. Big leg kick and then that slow developing sweeper. And that's plenty for Ellie.
Super backed up on him. It's a full count now. Steers 16 home runs on the year. He's batting .245, so the league average, but he draws a decent amount of walks. Here's the throw, a little wide and handled there by Young. And De La Cruz attracts so much attention when he gets on.
And rightfully so, but yes.
Gino's talking to somebody over there. Hit hard right in front of De La Cruz. Cole Emerson's got it. Easy throw onto first base, and the speed of Ellie De La Cruz is stranded at second base. A scoreless top of the first for Emerson Hancock. Once again, Cole Young batting at the top of the order for the Mariners. To see Julio in the starting lineup today. He is DHing and batting second. We've seen a lot of Dom Canzone batting third. It's where he is once again today. Cal Raleigh behind the plate doing the catching, and Weston Wilson in the lineup today at third base as J.P. Crawford continues to nurse that sore wrist. They'll be facing off against veteran right-hander Brady Singer in his second year with the Cincinnati Reds.
Well, you see he doesn't strike a ton of guys out, doesn't walk a lot of guys either, so Mariners will have to earn it.
First pitch strike to Cole Young. That's not something that's been a real strength to Brady Singer's. Oh, and 2 on Young to begin the Mariners' first inning. Been a tale of 2 different seasons for Singer. His first 11 games he posted an ERA north of 6. In his last 8, a 2.76 ERA, so he's been much better. The 0-2. Strike 3 call. That looked a touch in off the plate. EQC Tracer would agree with that. A strikeout from Singer.
We get under the hood of what Singer has. Majority 3-pitch mix. Singer's sinker, slider, sweeper. He started using his sinker more after May, and in July that usage has climbed to over 50%, has climbed to over 50%, and it has been really good. Aaron Pona's hitting under 100 against it this month.
So a lot of that sinking fastball. There are a few starting pitchers who throw that pitch more often than Singer does. As Julio lifts the slider into shallow left field, De La Cruz 2 down.
And you talking about throwing that sinker. I mean, you remember him with the Kansas City Royals. He was more of that ground ball machine. He always had that really good ground ball rate, that sinker getting under the barrel. And then you wanted to pitch a little bit more north to south and getting that four seam up. Wasn't getting a whole lot of swing and miss early this season. So he's reverting, trying to get that weak contact on the ground.
Yeah, he's also throwing more sweepers, and it has made that ground ball rate jump. He had a 10% usage on the sweeper before July. Now that's more than doubled, over 25%.
He's facing Canzone here with 2 outs and the base is empty.
So I think, Brian, to your point, trying to find that ground ball.
I think some guys too. We've talked about this with a bunch of pitchers we've seen. They fall in that trap where it's like, hey, look, you don't get the same amount of swing and miss. All right, how do I generate that? All right, why don't we try elevating a little bit? You know, I went through a little bit of that too, pitching, where it's like, okay, well, what can we change here with a type of breaking ball profile to get more swing and miss? But I think with Brady Singer, man, his bread and butter is when he gets that weak contact on the ground and he's getting back to being that guy.
Yeah, not a big strikeout guy. Pretty league average so far this year in terms of the ground ball. 2 outs to the bases, empty, Canzone ahead. And on the edge, a strike. Dom wanting to challenge. EQC Tracer.
Batter challenging the strike call.
Shows that this will not go well for Canzone of the Mariners. ABS powered by T-Mobile. So the Mariners.
Seattle has 1 challenge remaining.
I'll let Bill Miller tell you. 3-2. Strike 3 called. Singer a couple of strikeouts looking. The Mariners down a challenge already, so an inning complete. Mariners and the Reds a scoreless tie with Emerson Hancock pitching the series finale. Former Texas Ranger Nathaniel Lowe leads things off. Home run last night of the 9th inning. Hancock misses up and away for ball 1. Ground ball. This finds Emerson near the bag. 1 away. Well, we check in on what's happening today. A doubleheader at Fenway Park. Red Sox and O's got rained out last night. Red Sox winning game 1 6-3. That's 15 in a row now for the Red Sox. It's the longest win streak since the Cardinals won 17 in a row back in 2021. Now you go back and look at where the Red Sox were in late June. They had the worst record in the league. They were 32-46. They are now 52-48. They have gone on an all-time heater.
It's just absolutely absurd.
Last time that the Red Sox won 15 in a row, you have to go back to 1946. And during that 15 winning streak, there was a player who hit .442, on base .608, slugged .788. He drew 21 walks. He struck out 6 times, and his name was Ted Williams. Stevenson, a deep fly. This sends Canzone all the way back to the warning track to make the catch. 2 away.
Guys are doing this too with that Garrett Crochet, Ranger Suarez. Crazy.
Been remarkable. Well, the next Mariners fireworks night is coming up Friday, July 31st. You can relive all the legendary memories and moments in Mariners history. 50 seasons fireworks spectacular, presented by T-Mobile and Moving 92.5. Mariners.com/fireworks. Over the plate for strikes. Suarez, who was an all-star, Ranger Suarez, that is for the Red Sox this year. Mariners saw him firsthand. He had to go on the injured list right after July 4th. He has a groin strain, caused him to miss the all-star game. Check swing foul. That was in on Dane Myers. 0-2. Ooh. Been a while.
Usually that's 4th or 5th inning, right? Fire a sweeper off to the backstop.
Now, Hyphen, do you think that was intentional?
Oh, 100%.
There's some bad blood between these two, right?
There is.
Emerson Hancock and
gone back a couple years ago.
It all started in the Cactus League.
Yeah.
The year 2022. Yeah, we've seen that sweeper slip out of the hand a little bit from time to time. But it has not happened in quite a while, it feels like.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about in that first inning when he, going back to the month of May where he lost the field. That's all we're talking about in the month of April, how good that sweeper was. Figured that out at the end of last year, brought it into this season.
This is dumped into right field for a base hit. Myers gets aboard.
It's a two-seamer towards the upper half, and he just does a great job of getting on plane with it and shooting it the other way.
Here's Edwin Arroyo, made his major league debut not long ago. Former Mariner farmhand, part of the Luis Castillo trade to the Reds. Fouls this at the plate. Now, the Mariners loved him in the draft. They took him in the 2nd round. He was the 48th overall pick back in 2021. Switch hitting shortstop out of Puerto Rico. Moved to Florida for high school. He was a Florida State commit before being drafted by the Mariners. As a switch hitting shortstop from Puerto Rico, it is not a surprise as he calls for time that Francisco Lindor, his favorite player growing up. Swing and a miss, down and in. Arroyo down on strikes. A man left. A couple of punch outs for Emerson Hancock. Randy Arozarena leads things off. We go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Bottom of the 2nd inning, Mariners and the Reds in the rubber game today. Scoreless. All-star Randy Arozarena leads things off. Well located by Singer. Strike one. Randy has 19 stolen bases this year. He has homered 11 times. He is in the pursuit of what would be his 6th career 2020 season, which, when you look at that in the grand scheme of baseball history, is pretty remarkable. Assuming he can do that this year, he would have as many 2020 seasons as A-Rod, Hank Aaron, and Willie Mays. In fact, there would only be 6 players in the history of baseball with more campaigns of 20 home runs and 20 stolen bases. Funny enough, Barry and Bobby Bonds are tied for the most. They each did it 10 times. De La Cruz has it deep at short. One away. Well, don't miss the kickoff to 50 season celebration weekend alumni home run derby night presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. August 7th, you can watch Ichiro, somebody else, and Ryan Roland Smith.
That's right.
Go deep after the game against the Rays. Mariners.com/derby. Here's Josh Naylor. So you have a bigger bat now, Hyphen.
Well, yeah, I was just about to give you a quick little injury report from this morning. Oh, yeah. So I was trying to get some hacks in early, starting to get that good rhythm, that good feel for the swing. The last swing.
With your dry cuts in the living room?
That was the tee work of the game.
Yeah, that's right. Tee work.
So but there I was, just putting on a show early this morning. And then, I'm not kidding. I've got the umbrella here, by the way. But
our delicate flower. Our delicate flower.
Yeah, I'm just hunched under this. No, but then I rolled over my right elbow. It's sore, man. I'm using some parts of the the rig that haven't been used for a while, man. It's my elbow's killing me right now. So I don't know. I don't know if this might be my little built-in excuse if I don't start just parking dingers on August 7th. The elbow's killing me, guys. I don't know what to do.
This is kind of like tennis elbow, a version of that?
Call it that.
Okay.
Taylor Cruz can't hold on to it. And Naylor hit that to the perfect spot.
His last few hits have been like this. Hey, if they're dropping, they're dropping. They all count the same. Good to see Josh Naylor on first. And Taylor Cruz, we're talking about his long arms, long legs, and as lengthy as he is, he couldn't quite track this one down.
By the way, I think that umbrella was designed for a human being considerably smaller than Hyphen. I don't feel good for where his posture will be at the end of 9 innings today. He's turning into a pretzel with every pitch. Here's Cal with 1 out and 1 on.
It's not a bad idea. I mean, it keeps your screens cool as well. It is, yeah. I was down there last time. I mean, I think I was making fun of you from up here, but I was jealous the last time I was down there.
An easy stolen base for Josh Naylor as he continues to add on to a 20 stolen base campaign.
I mean, it's just crazy. He's got 8 home runs, but this is his 21st stolen base. We're talking once again about perhaps Josh Naylor getting his own 2020 season.
Does he go? No, he does not. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cal, Florida State, Singer, Florida. These two matched up a couple of times in their college days. On a line into right field for a base hit. Naylor hits third base and is on his way home. Chugging to the plate, and he scores standing. Seminoles 1, Gators nothing. The Mariners take the lead in the 2nd inning.
Well, this Mariners team, we talk about it often. It's not really a station-to-station team. They get the majority of their runs via the home run. But this was good to see Josh Naylor put himself in scoring position with the stolen base, because now he's able to score on the Cal Raleigh single to right field. And Steer, I think, I mean, maybe with a good throw, gets him. Naylor with a good jump off a second.
Strike 1 to Luke Raley. Yeah, that stolen base coming in big. So the Mariners on the board in the 2nd inning against Singer.
You guys were talking about that last few days, doing some of the little things. Yeah, Angie, we heard Cal Raleigh talk about this after that Friday game. Obviously, he hit that big grand slam, but just busting it down the line, getting that extra base going from first to third, stealing a base when it counts. Robles did that a couple times. Obviously, his last couple of games, it makes such a difference.
It's huge.
Good to see the Mariners get on the board early today. 1 out, 1 on.
I think Brian's right. You know the makeup of this team. They hit home runs, and that's how they're going to win. But when they get traffic on in front of those home runs, if they want to win more, it is doing those little things, and we've seen that show up in the last homestand.
Takes that back foot slider down and in. Full count to Luke Raley. '30th pitch coming up for Singer. He had a 1-2-3 first inning. Different story here in the 2nd. On the ground, Arroyo is able to get to it, pop himself up. That's a really good play by the rookie second baseman Edwin Arroyo. Takes a hit away. 2 down. Raley in the 2nd.
Yeah, and Raley saw the location of that, saw how much ground Arroyo had to cover. He was busting down the line, but even with a hustling Luke Rayleigh Arroyo able to get to his feet in time.
Here's Weston Wilson. Called a strike, and Wilson challenging right away.
Batter's challenging the strike call.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. That is clearly a ball.
Seattle has 1 challenge remaining.
It is
You
it is kind of interesting when you lose a challenge as early as the Mariners did in the first inning.
Sure.
Kind of how you approach that the rest of the way. It's not easy.
I was nervous for Weston right there. It's like, buddy, I hope you don't lose this one in the second inning. But when you know, you know. But you better really know. In the second inning when you only have 1.
When you know, you know, but you
better know.
Into shallow center field. Let's see who's got this one. Center fielder Dane Myers makes the catch. A man left, but a run scores. Always a special day at the ballpark, especially for these young Mariner fans out of the Fauntleroy Children's Center, enjoying that second inning for the Mariners, who take the lead to the third.
It's the summer sales.
Saturday, August 1st, first 15,000 fans will take home this 50 Seasons themed Aloha shirt, thanks to Fred Meyer, the perfect giveaway for the summer. You can go to mariners.com/tickets to make sure you are here. That's the beginning of a big homestand, long homestand for the Mariners that will include the 50 Season celebration. Key Bryant Hayes leads it off for the Reds. Down and in, well located by Hancock, strike 1. Whoa!
That's nasty.
That's a good looking sweeper. Look at where this pitch starts for Emerson Hancock and where it ends.
Throw it again. 0-2. Oh, let's go, Emerson Hancock.
Are we going to start this that early, Aaron?
Beep, 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 beep. Pitchcom is working from the booth to the mound.
Look at the sweeper grip
one,
there.
2, testing,
Exactly.
testing. I mean, you have to throw it again, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. Well, early in this homestand, it just seemed like whatever you were saying and putting out there seemed to be happening, and now you've done it again. You've started here in the finale.
Well, Hyphen knows I'm a pitching expert. I think that's been well documented, right, Ryan?
Wow.
I mean, those are Hyphen's words, not mine. Aaron, I just can't believe the insight you're bringing to them.
Oh yeah.
What they're doing on the mound. De La Cruz fouls it away.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, don't overthink it. Sometimes
That's it. That's all it comes down to.
Well, it's true, man. I mean, sometimes you get that big swing, and then you feel like you have to change eye level or throw on the other side of the plate.
Or think he's not going to fall for this again.
Right,
yes,
exactly.
he will. Yes, he will.
Yeah, he's obviously missing something, right? And obviously that was a really good quality pitch. The only thing you fall into is if you can't match it. If you throw that was 77 with a ton of horizontal movement. If you try and make it bigger, you see guys do that all the time. The ball just kind of spins middle of the plate.
On the corner, De La Cruz wanting to challenge.
Batter's challenging the strike call.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Cincinnati has 2 challenges remaining.
It is the ball, 3-1 to De La Cruz. Little tapper back to the mound. Hancock, a long flip. 2 outs. That brings up Sal Stewart. You know, you don't meet many people named Sal, and you think about the long history of this game. There haven't been a whole lot of Sals to play Major League Baseball. Sal Bando, the highest WAR of any Sal in baseball history, and good on rookie Sal Stewart. First time All-Star this year, first full season. He's already cracked the top 5 leaderboard. Sal Bando, a great third baseman back in the day. He was part of the transition from the Kansas City A's to the Oakland A's. 16-year big league career, 4-time All-Star, Arizona State product and the College World Series Hall of Fame. In fact, after Bando retired, he also played for the Brewers. He became the Brewers general manager for nearly a decade in the early to late 90s.
We were mentioning that this Sal Stewart, as we have
Batter's challenging the strike
another
call.
challenge.
Now, Sal Stewart has been the most aggressive ABS challenger of any hitter. And he misses on that one.
Cincinnati has 1 challenge remaining.
You mentioned him making his major league debut last year. He and Manny Machado have actually been friends for years and years, and like since he was like 10 years old, and knew he was special even back then.
Out to left field, Randy gives a little bit of ground, fights the sun some with his glove, and he makes the catch. And we'll make a friend out there. Side retired in order. 1, 2, 3. Emerson Hancock. Mariners have the lead early. Now, the other team may wear red, but a big lottery win could have you walking the red carpet. Imagine living the VIP life. Play Washington's lottery today. Gino, a day off, enjoying the Seattle sunshine. Speaking of living like a VIP. Colt Emerson leads it off for the Mariners. Goes after the first pitch, fouls it away.
Yeah, the other thing that Gino was talking about when he spoke with the media on game 1 of this series was at the trade deadline, and how the Mariners waited on the tarmac on the plane for he and his family. And then how Gino went through the entire plane and literally hugged every single person on it, including all the riffraff media in the back, and just said, you know, how special that was for him and for his family.
Well, Gino, not only did he hug truly every human being on the plane, he hugged people that he had never met before. There were people working for the Mariners who were not here when he was here, and he still hugged them. That's fair, right over the bag. One of the great Sals makes the play.
He is a hugger, no doubt. You know who's not a hugger? On the radio side, Shannon. You ever tried to hug Shannon?
I don't like where this is going.
Yeah, no, she is. She is a proclaimed non-hugger. I get her every once in a while, though.
Shannon's overcoming pinky surgery.
Yes, she has been a gamer.
Arroyo has this come to him. 2 outs. The insurance you get brought to you by Pimco Insurance. Well, these two teams, the most notorious in baseball in terms of percentage runs via the home run, and for the Mariners, not a whole lot's changed in recent years. This year, call it 51% of their runs coming via the homer, essentially the same as last year. 16 and 19, the other high water marks in franchise history. If you look at Julio's career as a starting point when he debuted in 22, at last look from that point until now, so that's a long time. The Mariners are 3rd in baseball in percentage of runs scored via the home run ball. So this is very much who they've been for quite a while now. Oh, 2 on Julio.
Of course, the big difference between last year and this year, the number of runs scored.
Rolls over this to De La Cruz. 1, 2, 3 inning for Brady Singer. For the 4th. Sun shining down at South Lake Union. Mariners have the only run.
Listen to
Today's Overlake Medical Center and Clinic's health report. J.P. Crawford out for the 3rd straight game with that wrist issue. So Weston Wilson getting the start over at third base once again. Mariners are eager to have Brendan Donovan come back and rejoin the ball club. His 3rd rehab appearance coming last night. That's been a long time, obviously, since we have seen Donovan. He was a major offseason acquisition. Been on the injured list a couple of times now. And there's no doubt, even though we haven't seen much of him, we do know this: the lineup really changes when you have his bat in there.
Oh, at the top. I mean, again, I think it was less than 25 games the Mariners had him, 23, 24, somewhere in there. But he was incredible at the top of the order. We saw power too.
Speaking of power, Blade, a deep fly ball over halfway up the lower bowl in right field. That is a game-tying solo home run for Blade.
Blade is a guy that is looking to pull, and this pitch ends up middle in, 86 miles per hour, just flat. Not a whole lot of movement on that pitch, and he ends up taking it into right field, 105 off the bat.
Oh, that took a chunk out of Cal. You could hear that on impact.
Miller's going to give him a little extra time after this one. Just square, straight off the mask.
He gets his wits back about him. Ball and a strike to Spencer Steer. Reds with 3 solo home runs last night. Home run begins this 4th inning for Cincinnati. 1-2. Blade's 17th. Does not chase. 2-2. Close miss by Hancock. Full count. Rosarena comes over, got that glove up and makes a 2-hand catch. Bright afternoon here around town. Steer flies to left. Message now from Jack in the Box.
Don't get FOMO. Get my Philly style bonus Jack combos and new Philly Munchie Meal.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Blue skies overhead, 1 out. And a run in, all tied up in the 4th inning. Well, Nathaniel Lowe comes from maybe almost a baseball family. Of course, his brother plays in the big leagues, now with the Angels. But his dad was actually drafted by the Mariners back in the late 80s. He opted not to sign. He did not pursue a professional baseball career. He wanted to be an astronaut. And instead of eventually going the NASA route, he, I guess, settled to go to the Navy Academy and become a Top Gun instructor. So that is a tough family to brag if you are at the Thanksgiving table. You got a couple of big league sons and a dad who was one of the best pilots in the world.
Yeah. Career fighter pilot in the Navy for 20 years. My chest puffing up. You know, my brother also went to the Naval Academy. 3rd generation. Dad, both grandpas.
Routine ground ball out, 2 away. Yeah, pretty impressive family to say the least.
And by the way, I don't remember when he first came out and made it to the major leagues, he was Nate Lowe. And it was Mom who got really upset and was like, it's Nathaniel. So.
Don't make that mistake.
Yeah. Don't make Mom mad.
Stevenson shoots this on a line into the corner in right field. The Reds catcher has himself extra bases. It's a 2-out stand-up double.
This is a two-seamer down towards the bottom of the zone. He just inside outs it into right field. Leads with the barrel. Excuse me, leads with the hands.
Here comes Myers with 2 outs and the go-ahead run at second base.
It is crazy. How many people have said, like, I know really cool to play professional baseball. Instead, I'm gonna go to the Naval Academy instead.
Probably not many.
No. Just when you think about the careers like dreaming about, it's like doctor, astronaut, baseball player. I mean, it's just as a kid.
Some frustration for Hancock as that sweeper finds the backstop and it results in a free 90 feet. That double looking like a triple now for Stevenson. Earlier when Myers was at the plate, it was a pitch that went behind Myers to the backstop, and this time
Hancock making sure he didn't do it this time.
So 2 outs, a runner at third base, 2-2 the count. Hancock working with the go-ahead run at third. Able to get a piece of that up and in at 96 miles an hour. In play, Young regains. No, he's got no throw. And that wild pitch costly. Stevenson scores from third, and the Reds take the lead. That was a dynamite play by Young to get there, but then lost it and didn't have a throw.
Yeah, Cole Young tackles this ball, but then as he gets up, it rolls out of his glove, and then he can't find the handle on it once he finds his feet.
And you can see Myers is sitting on that fastball too. I mean, not that he smashed it, but at the same time, you fire one off the backstop, you kind of limit. You can get that sweeper after that at all. And so Myers can just kind of sit on that hitter. And I guarantee you right now, Emerson Hancock, the fact the runner got to third base, was able to score on that little infield hit. He'll be really frustrated right now, just trying to get back into the dugout and finish off this fourth inning.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine, Hyphen. Curious your thoughts. It's one thing to give up a home run, right? It's another thing to have a run come in the way that it just did if you're a starting pitcher, correct?
Yeah, because a couple things. Like we've talked about him firing those sweepers off the backstop, right? And trying to get that same arm slot. I know we're going back to April, May, and everything else, but you're beyond that point now, and all of a sudden you're in June, July. You're in a tight game. You're pitching really well, making pitches, but man, it's just that one pitch to the backstop. Infield hit, it can lose sleep at night over that.
A wild swing. What was that exactly? Arroyo, is he all right?
It looked like he hurt something because he dropped the ball or bat immediately. Yeah. Lost the grip on it. Hit himself in the head.
1-2 the count. He calls for time. Keeping a close eye there on Myers.
It's that play by Cal. As a base runner, when you see that ball in the dirt, Dane Myers, generally you're going to take an extra step or two to see if it gets away from the catcher. Cal was able to pick it clean and look for an out.
Wilson, a little option toss, and Hancock can't stay on the bag. It took him away, and that looked like it would be out number 3, but this has been an inning of, well, a home run ball, a double, but also a couple of infield base hits and a wild pitch to help score a run.
You see where Wilson is playing shortstop more than the third, and this is a really odd angle for a flip, because generally with a flip, going back to Perry's 6 Fs, you want to be able to follow, and it's really hard to follow when your momentum is taking you out to center field.
Well, this has been a frustrating inning, you have to think, for Emerson Hancock.
You want the ground ball, you get the ground ball, and you don't get the out and get out of the inning.
Yeah, 2 straight hitters.
Yeah, that frustration can build up too. And it's not like you said, Goldie, it's not like you're giving up mammoth home runs or anything like that, but he's lost the feel for that sweeper. He tried that curveball to that last at bat, and now hitters can kind of just key in on that fastball, knowing they're going to get probably a 4-seam middle or middle up. And this is where you really got to make pitches, even though you're facing bottom of that lineup.
Key Brian Hayes, the batter. Big chopper. Wilson charges, gloves down by his laces, throws to first base. Naylor secures it. And the Reds leave a pair. They have taken the lead. A happy birthday, Harper, celebrating 14 in that Blue City Connect uniform. Here's who's coming up. Dom Canzone, Randy Arozarena, then Josh Naylor.
At T-Mobile.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners.
Beautiful day for the final game of the homestand. Dom Canzone leads it off. Laces the first pitch foul. Up and in. One ball and 1 strike. Arozarena and the Naylor due up.
It's a good chance right here. Mariners 3-4-5 hitters right after the Reds got a real cheap run in the top half of the inning to come back, find a way to get it back, and then some.
Lone Mariners run so far an RBI single from Cal Raleigh in the second inning. This ball splits the right side. Canzone is aboard.
He got him looking on the sinker in his first at bat. He gets to 2 strikes here, finds one at the top of the zone. He drives into right field, and again, important right there. They score, they take the lead, find a way, come back. Dom Canzone, lead runner, getting on for him here.
Little traffic in front of Arozarena. Takes off the plate for ball 1. Brady Singer in his second year with the Reds. He was originally drafted in the first round by the Kansas City Royals. He was traded 2 years ago to Cincinnati. And in exchange, the Reds sent second baseman Jonathan India to Kansas City. India and Singer were college teammates. traded for one another in the big leagues. I mean, when you're playing your college baseball, you would love to be traded for one another one day in the show. Be a dream come true. 2-1 the count. Right over the plate. And that was a good one to hit. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Going right after him.
Yeah, but you saw Randy Arozarena's approach change before strike 2 and after strike 2. Looking for something to pull to his power side, and then all of a sudden he gets 2 strikes, and you saw him looking to go the other way.
He rolls over this one to De La Cruz. Tough throw, dropped. Arroyo, he's out. He was able to regain and get that ball, and Canzone is out at second base.
This is reminiscent of game 1 with this Cincinnati Reds team. Just really kind of sloppy defense. So first he doesn't have it, and then I mean Canzone got caught up. It looked like on his slide.
Now call it second base.
Yeah, they want to see if this was actually controlled by Arroyo by the time Canzone's foot got there. It has not been an impressive series up the middle for 2 guys who you really think of being tremendous, if not elite athletes, in Arroyo and specifically De La Cruz.
Yeah, De La Cruz, I remember a time before when they were here in town, maybe it was there, I can't remember. He went 85 feet to get a ball, and I was like, I've never seen a shortstop make that play before or since. But yeah, in this series, it has not been good.
All right, so call me Supermo. Yeah, man, what defines a catch again?
Inside, within.
This is an NFL comp.
Oh, okay.
When does he control that ball? I mean,
Yeah.
is the webbing just around the ball?
Yeah,
right? Is he not controlling it?
No, you've got to. I don't think that.
I mean, he has to make contact with the interior of the glove.
When it's in the air.
I wonder if in this case he just has to show some form of controlling the ball. Certainly having the ball, the webbing of the glove around the ball on the ground does not count. You can understand in real time this is a difficult call to make for the umpire. So not there, but there. And where's Dom at that point? And of course we're only being able to see it through the webbing of the glove. Well, that's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, no, this is a tough call, but I think it's a good challenge by the Mariners too.
Yeah, because all of a sudden you've got nobody out and 2 on for the Naylor and then Cal Raleigh. I can't remember the last time we saw.
After review, the call on the field stands. Runner is out. Seattle will lose their challenge.
Yeah, it's always interesting to hear the exact verbiage, either stands or confirmed. If it stands, which is what this was, it simply means there was not enough evidence on either side, so they're going with what was called on the field. If it's confirmed, then that means that the umpires in New York saw enough evidence to, yes, confirm that the call on the field was the correct call and to go with it. So this was just kind of a gray area, it looks like. Worth the challenge, but you can understand why there wasn't enough to overturn it. Swinging strike 1 to Josh Naylor. Oh, 2. Watch out, UI over there at first base. Gets out of the way. Still 0-2.
Yeah, alternating speeds here. Soft, hard, then back to soft with the sweeper that he fouled off down the right field line.
This is a fair ball. Right over the bag. Randy already out from his helmet, and this ball is ruled pinned underneath the padded wall. Man, you don't see that very often in this ballpark. Naylor in at second, Randy to third. Mariners cooking in the fourth inning.
Yeah, talked about Singer alternating speeds. Went with the sweeper, then the fastball, then the sweeper, and then he went back to the fastball. And Josh laid on it. This one well off the pitch, but he just shoots it down the right, or excuse me, the left field line, just inside the third base bag. Was this really pinned? I mean, it was under there.
Well, it's pinned so little that it's spinning.
Yeah.
Here's Cal.
Good to see, though, from Josh Naylor. More, please.
Now, big spot here for the Mariners. They've got Randy Arozarena at third, Naylor at second base. One out. Cal Raleigh ahead 2-1.
You see Brady Singer losing that command right. This is that time where you want to make it hurt his second time through. That's when he's really struggling.
Popped him up. De La Cruz waits for it. 2 down.
Cal looking for a pitch that he could lift. But with that slider, 83 miles per hour, he gets him out in front on that pitch, and you see that barrel in and out of the strike zone, and then the frustration from Cal. This is a key situation in this game.
That was a pitch, man, he could handle. Singer slider's been way better of late. It's just kind of spinning.
Raley to the gap in right center field. Base hit. Arozarena is in to tie. Naylor crosses home. Luke Raley gives the Mariners a fourth inning lead. It's 3-2.
Pay attention to what happens in front of you. I talked about that slider that they threw to Cal. Cal left-handed bat in front of Luke Raley. He tries to throw that slider to Luke, and Luke is ready for it and pummels this ball into right center field. That's what the Mariners have been missing. Last night, 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Today, getting that clutch hit.
Weston Wilson at the plate. That is just on the edge. Maybe scrapes it a touch. 0-2. Able to lay off that slider. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Wilson.
I've seen Weston Wilson hit a couple hanging sliders out. It's for short time with the Mariners. See if he gets one right here. Singer's leader. That Singer slider he's been thrown so much better first time through, but that's what Luke Raley did to it. Good chance right here, especially 3-2.
Raley giving the Mariners the lead. He's at first base now. And Wilson calls for time. Still 3-2. So the Mariners a run in the second, 2 runs here in the fourth.
And not one via the home run. I don't even know who this team is right now, Aaron. Good to see.
See if Wilson can keep the line moving here. Fastball middle in. Long at bat for Wilson. Emerson would be next. Gets jammed a little bit and fouls it away. Still 3-2. Next pitch will be number 10 to Weston Wilson. On the ground over to third. Hayes to first. Mariners grab 2 runs thanks to that man, Luke Raley. And they have taken the lead after 4.
We treat our pet.
Mariners TV is presented by PIMCO, the insurance you get. Learn more at PIMCO.com. Top of the order, third time through for Emerson Hancock.
And I mentioned going into that bottom of the 4th inning just how important it was after Emerson Hancock had allowed that run to find a way to get it back and then some. And that's exactly what the Mariners did.
Luke Raley, 2-run base hit. Mariners in front now. 1 ball to 1 strike to De La Cruz.
Just put a little spring in Emerson Hancock's step.
One. Jackknifed and a strike. Each side with 1 challenge left the rest of the way. Let's see. EQC Tracer just in off the plate. I was talking with an umpire last homestand, and I wanted to confirm a report that came out earlier in the year that the home plate umpire every night does have verbal access and communication, if he so chooses, with the ABS operator upstairs, and in between innings can push a button and say, hey, the 2-2 pitch to De La Cruz, was that a strike?
Really? Ah.
So that is available to the umpires if they choose. The umpire that I spoke with, who was a crew chief in baseball, said that he didn't like it. He has tried it before, but he did not like doing it because it made him start overthinking things. And if they said, yes, you missed it by 1/1000th of an inch.
Yeah, but if you're asking for that pitch, you kind of had a question too. You know, you were wondering, was I right on that one? Because there's a million edge pitches.
Sure.
But if you ask on that one, I mean, I think that's good real-time feedback. I like that. I can understand why some guys wouldn't, though. I'm not an overthinker, Aaron.
Well, you know, it's one of the things I've wondered about is, do umpires like the ABS because it kind of lets them off the hook a little bit, right? If you, assuming that a team has a challenge available, if there's a call that they don't agree with, well, they can do something about it, and they won't go back to the hotel tonight steaming mad about the home plate umpire because they have the ability to counter it. And so I posed that question to this particular crew chief, and one thing that he said that I found very interesting, he acknowledged that it is nice to not have the full responsibility on your shoulders, yes, but he said he had a game where within the first 4 innings, 4 or 5, he had lost like 6 challenges. It was a bad night.
Umpire.
The umpire. And he said that what that did for him was that particular night he lost his conviction in the strike zone. And if there's one thing a home plate umpire needs, it's conviction for the strike zone.
Sure.
And I mean, I think we can all relate to that. No matter what you do for a living, if suddenly you lose that conviction for, in this case, calling 100-mile-an-hour pitches where they should be or where they shouldn't be, that's tough. So it clearly can be a mental game for an umpire if they're having a bad night. I completely understand that.
Yeah, whether you're a pitcher, the confidence, whether you're a hitter, like you said, I think that's huge, or an umpire as well. Hyphen, you want in there?
Yeah, I remember talking to Mike Malinsky about a year ago, and this is when ABS was going to be a thing here this season, and he's talking about that being kind of that equalizer, because the last half a decade, man, like, people don't realize this. They get a report sent to them every morning, and if there is more of a margin there, if there's a percentage of calls they've missed, then they do have to have a bigger evaluation where they have to talk to one of their bosses and go through it. And they're under a microscope so much. I mean, go back in the day, you could hear the random fan heckling from the second couple rows back and tell them they got a bad call. But man, with some of the technology, you think about the last couple of years, the scrutiny they've been under, not to mention the threat from ABS and robo-umps. So it's a hard gig.
There's no doubt. And I think what ABS has shown us is that by and large, they do a pretty good job.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I agree.
Good shutdown ending. Emerson Hancock. He retires the top 3 in a row.
Nice truck, Mr.
Mariners by a run. Bottom of the 5th inning. Mariners shortstop Colt Emerson leads it off. Back foot breaking ball from Singer. Rolled over to second base from short right field, Arroyo. Back to the top, 3rd time through coming for Singer. A word now from AAA Washington.
At AAA, you already know we got cool trucks, but did you know we also have insane insurance? AAA Washington, become a member today.
Here's Cole Young. Ball and 2 strikes to Cole Young. So earlier in the year, as this is being challenged on the corner,
Cincinnati's challenging the ball call.
that's going to be close. Stevenson has been good behind the plate with the challenge system. Ooh. Wow.
Cincinnati has 1 challenge remaining.
So Young just barely strikes out. Both sides with 1 challenge. The ABS system has gotten a workout today.
That's the 2nd time that Cole Young has struck out looking on the sinker, but you just saw the location. I mean, that's just a pitcher's pitch.
And nothing you can do about that. Julio into center field, and it's caught there. Man, that was a fast inning. Bottom of the 5th complete. We make our way to the 6th. Mariners in front.
What are the Cincinnati Reds up against with Emerson Hancock? Look at the release point for his sinker and sweeper. Exactly the same, but then once those 2 pitches leave his hand, they move in directly opposite directions. That sweeper away, that sinker down and in. Pick one. You can't hit both.
Every hit is a miracle.
It has never been harder to hit than right now in baseball. I mean, the velocity is just ridiculous, and it's not just the starters, but then you got all the velo coming out of the pens and all the filth. It is a miracle.
This one got in on him a little bit. It's shallow. Randy is able to get there, keeping his feet, making the catch in a game of hot potato after round number 1.
Angie, to that point too with Emerson Hancock, that's why when someone says, oh, you know, I'm just showing this pitch, basically showing that you can command that sweeper, just changes how quick, how you can sit on one pitch as well. We talked about that inning where he lost that a couple innings ago, where he lost the feel for that sweeper, and then the Cincinnati Reds could just sit dead red. Makes such a difference when you can land that breaking ball.
And you know he's not going to try to get the feel for that sweeper with runners on base.
No chance.
Exactly.
No
so.
Ground ball over Hancock, flattens out for Colt Emerson. 2 away quickly. We'll be here for a legendary gathering of Mariner greats on August 8th. It's 50th season celebration night presented by Daktronics. Franchise icons like Junior, Ichiro, many others will be right here at T-Mobile Park. The top 50 Mariner players all time unveiled. Mariners.com/50. What a night that will be.
I cannot wait. It's going to be amazing. By the way, Emerson Hancock, extremely efficient here. He got 2 outs and 4 pitches here in the 6th inning. But going back to that 5th, this is what really stood out to me. Ellie De La Cruz chewed up 8 pitches in that at-bat. He got him to fly out to shortstop. But then he needed just 4 pitches from there to get the next 2. 12 total pitches in that 5th inning. That was huge for Emerson Hancock.
Well, the Mariners have had some tremendous starting pitching here to begin the second half. 4 straight quality starts. Last night, Castillo, 3 runs over 7. An efficient 6th so far. 91 pitches. Bullpen is up for the Mariners. The 0-2. Pizzardo warming. Right-handed bat of Dane Myers due up next. 1-run game in the 6th. Trying to finish things off here. Elevates the fastball. On an 0-2. Does he? No. Doesn't chase the spin. 1-2.
Goes with the curveball there. I'm so hoping he was going to drop a sweeper.
1-2. Rolled over to third. Weston Wilson has it and retires the side. 1-2-3 in the 6th. Emerson Hancock dealing once again. Just 2 runs allowed. Gorgeous day around town. Mariners in front 3-2.
Around here?
Well, the Mariners leading 3-2. We've got the Salmon Run Day here at the ballpark this afternoon. We've got the Salmon Run Aloha shirt being given out today as well. If you missed today's great giveaway, there are more chances to soak in the summer. We've got the Margaritaville night Friday, July 31st, and Aloha shirt day on August 1st. First 15,000 fans of the building taking home the Mariners Aloha shirt presented by Fred Meyer. Mariners playing from in front 3-2. Canzone leads it off. That slider just fell right off the table. Strike 1. In the air towards left and slicing out of play. 0-2 on Canzone. Day off tomorrow for the Mariners. In fact, they will fly after the game tonight to Arlington and get into Texas. They will spend tomorrow in the heat. Triple digits these days around the Metroplex. Canzone strikes out. And then a 4-game wraparound series in Arlington. It will go Friday through Monday. And that'll be a big one coming up. Mariners trailing the Rangers by a half game in the West. Those 2 teams flipping back and forth pole position recently. Bryce Miller will go on Friday in game 1. Down and away, ball 1-2 Rosarena. Center field and dropping for a base hit. One out single for Rosarena.
The Cincinnati Reds' ability to change the game with one swing of the bat, they absolutely love to slug. It would really be great to see the Mariners add on here. Randy gets jammed in near the hands, but fights it off into center field.
He is on base in front of Josh Naylor, who doubled his last time up. Doubled on a pitch that was right about there, actually. Well outside the zone. Naylor had a 3-hit day yesterday, 3 singles, pair of base hits today. Over the plate for a strike, 1-2. Time call.
I can't help but wonder right there if Josh Naylor thought he was going to get something else. He's such a thinker and watches what guys do and how they fall into patterns, and it looked like he was just thinking something else besides that two-seamer there that ended up over the heart of the plate.
Two and two. Randy trying to take second. Did he go around? No. The tag. He's out at second base. Randy caught stealing, and no argument from him. Meanwhile, 3-2 the count to Naylor. 2 outs.
Just a really good transfer from Stevenson behind the plate, and a good throw right on the money to get Randy. Ellie De La Cruz doing a really nice job of letting that ball travel through the air. Doesn't catch it out in front and make the tag. Lets it come all the way to the bag.
Naylor down swinging, chasing that slider beneath the zone. A couple of strikeouts for Singer in the 6th. He ends up facing the minimum. Final day at home for the Mariners. Road trip coming up. The Mariners taking the lead to the 7th. Today's Western Washington Toyota pitching matchup. Both starting pitchers pitching well today. 6 innings each. Singer 3 runs. Hancock only 2. A quality start for Emerson Hancock, who hands the keys over to the bullpen at this point. Here's what it looked like for Hancock. His 18 out pitches today.
Well, you see the 3 strikeouts, and with Hancock we're used to seeing a bit more swing and miss, but this was a great start by him. You worried when he walked Ellie De La Cruz to start the game, and you're thinking, uh-oh, is that hand okay? What's going to happen here? But great start. And I loved the fact that his last pitch of the game, the last pitch of his game, Tyler Stevenson, what does he do? He goes back to that sweeper and gets him to roll over it to third base.
Yeah, he lost that pitch there for a while, right? Towards the end.
Popped up, and Bizzardo making the basket catch.
We say it all the time. Pitchers are such great athletes.
Correct.
And Bizzardo jumping off the mound when he drops the barrel and squares around to bunt.
I mean, he could practically be in a home run derby with the way he played that.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
I love it. Cal puts out his bare hand. I'll take that from you, please. Thank you.
So the leadoff man retired. Here is Arroyo. This game is set up well for the Mariners. They'd like to have a little more lead than they have now, 3-2. But nonetheless, a quality start from Hancock. The leverage arms available today. Playing from in front in the back third of the game.
And that bullpen's in good shape too. Gabe Spires a couple days off. Ferrer through last night. Trying to bridge that gap to Munoz in the 9th inning.
Behind 2-1. Number 9 man Key Brian Hayes on deck. 3-1. We've said it so many times in the first 2 games of this series. You really want to take care of the bottom of the order here. You've got some young hitters. Arroyo is certainly one of them. And a lot of pop at the top. Trying to keep them off the bases. That will not happen here. Arroyo draws the walk. He saw just 1 strike. So the tying run is aboard. Don't miss your chance to sit in the J-Rod squad presented by Adidas. The special section in center field available every game at T-Mobile Park. Tuesdays and Fridays you can score this t-shirt featuring a new design for the second half of the season. Mariners.com/JRod. Here's Key Brian Hayes. Naylor really ranging, and it's just over the screen. And whoever sits right about there, you get to know Josh Naylor pretty well over a homestand.
He goes back so well, better than most first basemen. And you have to remember, he used to be an outfielder. He used to play right field. I don't know if I like to turn the glove there, but I always say it's a backhand, whether it's on the ground or up in the air.
Arroyo taken off. This ball is into center field for a base hit, and Arroyo is in at second base.
Excellent deke by Cole Young. This was a base hit. Easy base hit, easy read if Arroyo was looking into center field. Probably could have gone first to third because he was going on the pitch. But look at Cole Young pretending that he's getting ready to take a throw from Cal, and it means Arroyo stays at second.
Pete Woodworth out. Top of the order coming here. Gabe Spire warming up.
Well, this is what you don't want to have in front of Elly De La Cruz. Key Brian Hayes with 2 home runs on the year. Edwin Arroyo before him, 0. And now you flip it over to Elly De La Cruz with 17. Doesn't get easier with Sal Stewart behind him.
Switch hitting shortstop De La Cruz. One out, 2 on. He has seen his fair share of pitches today. Tying run in scoring position. Leadoff man at the plate. Well, that just misses. 99. That's the top end velo from Bizardo.
And it looked like it might have caught a little bit of the strike zone, but there was so much movement on that 2-seamer. Cal had to basically track it down.
In the air softly. Randy not having to move much. Runners have to stay put. Not even Arroyo would think about attacking on that. 2 outs.
This is a huge out. 98 in on his hands. Elly can't get the arms extended. Jams him with just a weak fly ball into left field. Huge out.
And Stewart calls for time before even seeing a pitch. 20 home runs for the All-Star first baseman Sal Stewart. 2 outs, 2 on, 1-run lead for the Mariners. Deep to right field. Canzone twisting, turning, out of room, and it's gone. Opposite field bomb from Sal Stewart. The Reds have taken the lead of the 7th.
We talked about it throughout this series. Sal Stewart, a young hitter, but his ability to make adjustments within a game, within an at-bat, and this two-seamer he catches at the top of the zone, and this kid is so strong. Hits his 21st home run of the year, 104 off the bat, just over the wall and right.
Well, the Mariners had done an excellent job of keeping the bases empty for all the preceding home runs for the Reds in this series, and that one was ill-timed with 2 on, and a 5-3 Cincinnati lead now.
Well, the thing you hate the most is the walk to Arroyo.
Blade, deep center field, and the catch made there by Luke Raley. Now the Mariners playing from behind now. Need some late offense. Time to stretch. Cal Raleigh leads off the home 7th after this.
It's the summer sales event.
Mariners TV is brought to you by Washington Lottery. Here's to building a stronger Washington. Washington's Lottery helps fund the WA grant. Free money for college, training, or apprenticeships when you play. All of Washington wins. Gorgeous day here in Seattle. Reds now have the lead 5-3. Singer back out there in the last of the 7th. Next pitch will be number 90 for the Red starting pitcher. Bullpen beginning to stir for Terry Francona.
We were talking about how efficient Emerson Hancock has been. What about Singer on the other side of things? 7 pitches to get through the 5th inning. That was the one that you called really quick, and then just 11 pitches to get through the 6th.
2 balls and a strike.
You can understand why Terry Francona isn't in a huge hurry to get to his bullpen.
Yes, it has been a bullpen that has really struggled this year. He's got nobody out there who's throwing the ball better than this guy right now.
Yeah.
Three and 1. Mariners a bloop and a blast away from tying things up. Lower inside corner, full count. A wave and a miss. Man, that two-seamer had a ton of movement to it. Chevy Silverado driving the game. Luke Raley, his 2-run single, gave the Mariners the lead back in the 4th inning.
Again, I say it all the time, you know, sometimes you need to put down the iPad and just pay attention to the game. He threw that slider to Cal Raleigh, another power left-handed bat right in front of him, got him out in front, popped him up to short.
Raley got jammed a little bit, and oh, that sun is tough today, and Myers with those sunglasses on, able to make the catch. Two outs for Weston Wilson.
By the way, I can't remember who it was, but I saw it just, you know, scrolling through social media, that the outfielder actually took the glasses off of the top of his hat and put him on in the middle of trying to track down a fly ball. Maybe just use them.
Just start with them on?
Start with them on.
Gotta get the old flip downs.
Yeah. Those aren't nearly cool enough nowadays.
No, they're not big enough, certainly.
Yeah. I think they're cool. I think we should bring them back.
2-1. Lefty in the bullpen, you just saw Brock Burke. Borderline pitch at the bottom of the zone. 2-2. Burke, Warm, and you've got the lefty Emerson and Young coming up next if Wilson were to reach. 2-run game. 2-2. Way outside. 100 pitches for Singer now. Does he go? No, he doesn't. Is that enough to chase Singer here in the 7th inning? Sure looks like it. Now the Mariners will bring the tying run to the plate, and with that in mind, Terry Francona is going to his bullpen, calling on left-handed Brock Burke.
Itch, scratch.
Mariners TV is brought to you by UW Medicine at Harborview. Backed by research and innovation, UW Medicine delivers all care at this King County-owned hospital. UW Medicine at Harborview, a higher degree of health care. What an outing today for Brady Singer. 3 runs pitching into the 7th inning. That walk that he issued to Wilson was his first of the game.
1 walk, you see the 6 strikeouts, and we talked about this going into today's game. Doesn't strike out a whole lot, doesn't walk a whole lot. The Reds have lost 12 of his 19, but right now he's in line for the win today.
Burke, left on left, almost scrapes Cole Emerson there. Heavily used left-handed reliever. Ball 1.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. He is the workhorse. Most games, most innings. One of the better National League lefties out of the pen. A lot of teams with their eye on him for sure.
In left field, hanging up there, and the catch made by Bleday. Left on left works for Terry Francona. Gets his Reds out of maybe a jam brewing in the 7th inning. So we make our way to the 8th. Looks like Cole Wilcox getting set to pitch. Mariners trailing by 2. The one and only Tito Francona, the skipper for the Cincinnati Reds. Man, you go way back in the time machine. Look at Tito starring for the Memphis Chicks in the early 80s. Ball cap under the helmet. And who else was calling those games for Memphis back in the day than our very own Rick Riz? Long before he was the voice of the Mariners, he was the voice of the Memphis Chicks. And I would imagine one of the great mustaches in all of baseball.
That is spectacular. Look at that. Yeah, Rick Riz told me Terry and I used to be chicks together.
Steer towards right field. Canzone is there near the line and makes the catch. Foul ground.
Asked Rick, I was like, did you ever guess that he was going to be a manager? He said no. I had no idea. I mean, you can understand he was such a talented player back then.
Now Tito had a magnificent college baseball career. He won a College World Series with Arizona. He makes his home in Tucson.
Yeah, he and Rick are close, you know, to this day. Also, Rick telling me about that 1980 team for the Memphis Chicks. They were the Southern League West Division champs. I got to get this right. The East Division champs ended up besting them. That team, some guy named Cal Ripken on it.
0-2. They all came from somewhere. And some of them had a mustache.
I'm suddenly disappointed that Rick didn't bring the stash back when the rest of the Mariners team did at the end of
Oh, it's true. That's a great point.
I mean, now that I know, now that I've seen it.
I'm a little disappointed Aaron Goldsmith didn't have the mustache during that
Have
run.
you ever? Have you?
I grew a Coven mustache.
I mean, you don't want to take attention away from that gorgeous head of hair, do you?
Let me tell you, my mustache took a lot of attention. There were 19 whiskers. It looked great. Stevenson looks at a strike. Hyphen, have you ever dabbled?
No, I can't pull off the facial hair. All different types, man. I just can't pull it off.
I thought about growing mine out. Decided against it.
I'll wait for a September rally at least.
Well, we talked about Burns, right? Being Italian descent, and they make Burns, yesterday's starting pitcher, being born in Italy, and they say that Italian men grow out mustaches in honor of their mothers.
You don't need to take a shot at Rick's mom like that,
No,
Ange.
no. Hey, I mean, my surname, Marzetta, that's me. Hopefully my kids don't grow out their mustaches in honor of me.
1-2. Right in line with Emerson, thigh high. Side retired in order. Cole Wilcox, a 1-2-3-8 to the home half. Speaking of mustaches, Cole Young, Julio, and then Dom Canzone when we come back.
Hey, Kevin.
'50 season celebration weekend is almost here. Each year headlines the Alumni Home Run Derby August 7th. The top 50 greatest Mariners are unveiled in a legendary ceremony August 8th. And then fans, you can score an exclusive pin on August 9th. You can learn more and get your tickets at mariners.com/50. And so the Mariners go for a week-long road trip. Day off tomorrow. 4 games against the Rangers, 3 at Dodger Stadium. And then the Mariners come back for a nice long homestand. The Twins will be here for 3, and then the Tigers and Rays, and it's that final series of the homestand against Tampa Bay where all the festivities will be taking place.
This is a difficult stretch right in front of the Mariners right now. I mean, starting with Texas and the Dodgers,
Sure.
but then when they come home, I mean, you got a bunch of teams fighting for playoff position.
Yeah, no question. Tigers had that just brutal month of May, and they've been very good since. We already know about the Rays. Mariners just saw them before the break. One of the best teams in baseball. And then you've got the Twins with Byron Buxton, who never wants to leave Minnesota. And you know what? Good for him. Guy drafted and developed by the Twins. Signed that big deal many, many years ago, and he has said in so many words, my heart is here. I'm a Twin for life. I don't want to go anywhere else. His name has obviously been brought up quite a bit around the trade time. A lot of people would love to have the services of Byron Buxton, but he doesn't want to go anywhere.
You remember last year the Twins traded away 9 of their players. Just had a fire sale.
It was an all-timer.
It was crazy.
Up and in on Young. Still 2-2. He kind of fights this one off, but pops it into short right field, and it's caught on the run there by Steer. Young is out. The way this one lines up for Tito and the Reds, the lefty Burke has to face Julio. He came on and faced one batter to end the 7th in Emerson. So if you come back out, you have to face the grand total of a 3-batter minimum. So you have to face Julio here. You were really hoping that Young could get on in front of him. And then the lefty bat Canzone is due up next. This ball is laced out to the gap in left center field, and it makes its way to the wall. Now Julio had the advantage, and the right-handed bat is able to get the double off of Burke. And the Mariners will now bring the tying run to the plate. That ball was smashed.
It was, and Myers, as he started his angle towards this ball, as the ball passed him and went to the wall in center field at 110 miles per hour, he thought, oh, Julio hit that harder than I thought he did. I mean, he thought he had a beat on it. He thought he had the angle, and this just hit the grass and kept on going, picking up speed.
Upstairs called a strike and no challenge. Both sides with the one left. EQC Tracer does show that it would have been a strike by just the seams of the ball. Terry Francona ready for a Rosarena standing on deck. We've got the right-handed Pierce Johnson warming up and another lefty, Sam Maul, getting loose. Just foul. Tying run Canzone at the plate. One hopper over to first, pardon me, to the mound, and now on to first base. 2 outs. Julio on the play, advances into third. So here is Randy. So Tito sticking with the lefty. Up high. Bottom of the zone, fastball at 96, 1 ball and 1 strike. Randy 1 for 3 today. A Rosarena tying run at the plate. 1-1. Little squibber back to the mound. Burke's got it, and Tito's decision pays off as the lefty face a Rosarena, a harmless ground out, and Julio's double is stranded.
Hey, Kevin.
Top of the 9th inning, Reds by 2 runs. The Sal Stewart 3-run homer in the 7th. Right now, the deciding blow. Here's what it looks like in the American League West as we speak. The Rangers leading the Mariners by a half game. Day off tomorrow, then a 4-game wraparound weekend series begins in Arlington against those Rangers. So big series looming for the Mariners. Rangers will continue their series tonight against the White Sox in Arlington. Dean Myers leads it off. Cole Wilcox on the mound for his 2nd inning.
Even with a 6-pitch at bat to Tyler Stevenson, who's pretty effective, just needing 11 pitches to get through the 8th. So it's good to see him back out there after being so efficient.
Portable fan kind of day.
It is warm. How you doing down there, Hyphen? Under your umbrella.
Got the umbrella.
He's got 6 of those things.
That's right. We've got Nate down here with he donated his fan.
All right, there's the beauty umbrella. Hyphen curled up in a ball.
Where's that? There he is. By the way, there's a fan right there. You can't see. He's just been hogging the whole thing. I thought we were going to share it, but he's pretty much just got a position on himself. That's fine.
Nate is trying to dodge the limelight. He has become far too famous.
Yes.
In all the Pacific Northwest.
He's upset with us. Yeah.
He's never hit so well in his life.
He's got a whole cheering section down here.
Oh, I can't even imagine. Nate, will you sign this? This is into left field and touches down, base hit. Randy gets to it. And that holds Arroyo to a single. He was hoping for two. Nice work by Rosarena. Well, here's what it looks like when the Mariners do get to Texas. It's always a good pitching matchup, it feels like, when these two teams get together. Bryce Miller starts the series against lefty Mackenzie Gore. Man, Saturday, Wu, Evaldi, Gilbert, the Stetson products with a rematch. Gilbert versus DeGrom, and then Kirby versus Kamar Rocker. That is going to be incredible baseball. One out, one on for Ke'Bryan Hayes.
Be interesting to see right now. Corey Seager is fighting with lower back issues, but obviously when he's in the lineup, he changes things.
Challenging the call ball.
Yeah, availability has been an issue for Corey Seager since coming to the Rangers. Good challenge by Cal.
Seattle has one challenge remaining.
Arroyo dashing to second base. Wilson to first. 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. By the way, I found out an official answer to one of our questions about how many baseballs are prepared every day. Like the official number.
How many are prepared or how many are used?
Prepared.
What are we doing? Okay.
Prepared baseballs.
All right.
I spoke to today's MLB compliance officer inside the ballpark today. It's a real person. That's a big time job. 180 baseballs are prepared every game.
So this is like mud rubbed up.
Yeah.
Mud from the special place that we can't.
That's
tell
right.
you
And the
where
compliance
it
officer has to hand inspect every baseball. Now, why are you giving me the side eye? It's his job.
Do you think it's like you look at a bucket of them and go, those look good. They're about the right shade of. They put the right amount of. Have you ever watched them rub them up? I mean, it's just the tiniest little bit of mud that they take out of the jar and then rub up the baseball with, just to take the.
So you think the whole thing
bright
is a
white
farce?
off of? No, I'm not. That's fantastic to hear that they inspect every single baseball. I think they probably take a glance and
If
go,
you believe it
those
or
look
not.
good. Yeah, those look good.
Many of your bullpen catchers have quit their job because of having to rub up those baseballs.
And you know what they do for a living now, Hyphen?
What's that?
They're compliance officers.
There you go.
They know the right
They switch
shade.
sides.
2-2. Well, I can tell you this. There have been times of emergency when they have started going through so many baseballs and a game gets late and maybe extra innings are looming where they start rubbing new baseballs as the game is going on in full panic mode.
I thought you were going to say they start yelling at Randy, knock it off. Stop throwing so many baseballs away.
We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Mariners down by 2, down to their final 3 outs.
And what I'm doing here.
Well, the Mariners find themselves trailing by 2 to the bottom of the 9th inning. 5-3 Reds. They are 3 outs away from the series win, and for the second straight game, veteran reliever Emilio Pagan is on the mound for the Reds.
Tito with a tremendous amount of trust in Emilio Pagan to get the final 3 outs in his games.
Josh Naylor leads it off. Well, in a game where it's been a battle of who can hit the biggest home run, so far it's been the Cincinnati Reds. These two teams, the most home run dependent ball clubs in baseball, each essentially scoring half their runs via the homer. And for Cincinnati today, it was a Sal Stewart 3-run blast in the 7th to put them in front. As Stevenson heads out to the mound. Now the Mariners find themselves down by 2 in the 9th inning.
Well, it's set up so well. Great starting pitching by Colt Emerson, and then you had your leverage arms available today. Bizzardo gets rolled out, and Bizzardo, who's been so good, especially limiting the slug late in games, gives up the 3-run home run on a 2-seamer.
Oh, and 2 the count to Naylor as Stevenson gets back behind the plate. The Mariners have not homered today. This season, when the Mariners do not homer in a game, they are 8-26. They are winning less than 25% of the time in the games where they do not go deep. It's the 4th worst winning percentage in baseball when not homering. Two and 2. Hit hard, foul.
A good looking swing from Josh Naylor, on time for the fastball. This one just ended up foul, a few inches.
He calls time. Cal Raleigh, Luke Raley to follow. The 2-2.
Goes back to the 4-seamer again. This one high and away, and Naylor just able to foul it off. Good location for that pitch after the previous swing by Naylor.
Another foul ball. And really today, when you look at the game the Reds have played, the Reds have beat the Mariners, at least so far. We'll see. Still got 3 outs to play with, but the Reds have, to this point, beat the Mariners at their own game.
Homering.
You had a critical late inning multi-run homer, and you had really good starting pitching that got you into the 7th inning. Two again. That flutters outside. A splitter misses. Easy take for Naylor. 3-2. Trying to get some traffic in front of Cal Raleigh. Straightaway center field. Myers, 1 away. 1 out, Mariners down 2. It brings up Cal Raleigh.
Like you said, you really would have liked 1 on in front of Cal Raleigh just to put it in the back of the Reds' minds, making them tighten up just a little bit, especially after the way this series started.
Well, we were talking earlier about what's coming up for the Mariners and the upcoming homestand, and you brought up a good point of just it is a tough road ahead for the Mariners. I mean, you think about, you've got 4 in Arlington, then 3 at Dodger Stadium, which is its own beast. And then the Twins are not a good team, but then the Tigers, the Rays, the Yankees, the Astros, the Brewers, Cubs, Phillies. I mean, that is.
No, September looking much easier, but August is going to be a juggernaut.
And by the way, after the Phillies, you're on the road out east at the Blue Jays, at the Red Sox. And remind me the last time Fenway Park was a good place for the Mariners. Also, they've won 15 in a row.
Yeah,
we'll see We'll see what they're like come nearly September. That's a good pitch, 2-2. Yeah, so it's, you look at, if the Mariners can't come from behind to win this game today, you don't have a losing homestand, but you don't have a winning homestand.
No,
you go
and
3-3.
against two teams that you should beat. And then you look at this 4-game series. The fact that it's a 4-game series, Aaron, if you split that series with the Rangers, you really aren't doing much.
Sure. Yes. You're trying to gain ground somewhere.
Exactly. And so, I mean, I don't want to put too much stress on that Rangers series, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to, my thumb is pushing down as hard as I possibly can. That's a huge series, and you want to be playing good baseball going into it.
Stewart has it right in the breadbasket, a race to first base, and there are 2 outs. You're just simply asking for a 4-game sweep on the road.
Right,
yeah,
I mean,
no big deal.
The Rangers. Yeah,
No, I understand what you're saying, though. It is not a kind schedule for the Mariners come the month of August.
I'll take 3 or 4, by the way. Yes, you're right. You're right. You can hear it in my voice. You knew I wanted the sweep, but I'll take 3 or 4 for the Rangers.
Now, the Mariners find themselves down to their final out here in a game that they were in position to win. The tough thing, too, is it was off of Bizzardo that the Reds took the lead, and Bizzardo's been a wonderful, terrific reliever for the Mariners for quite some time now, but even great relievers will have days where they cough up a 3-run home run. It comes down to the fact that, at least so far, the Mariners have scored just 3 runs on the heels of a game where they scored just 2 runs last night.
And again, Sal Stewart, what a season he is having in his first full season. 21 home runs now. He's such a dangerous hitter, and you get through Ellie De La Cruz and you think, but there's no let up with the top of their order.
Two balls and a strike to Luke Raley. Three straight 3-ball counts. Weston Wilson on deck, 2 down. Out towards left center field. Myers fighting the sun, and instead it's Bleday to end the ball game. The Reds take the series 2-1. It turns out to be a 500 homestand, but there's no doubt, especially against these 2 opponents, you were hoping for a winning homestand before hitting the road.
I think you described it perfectly. The Mariners got out-Marinered by the Cincinnati Reds. We know how both of these teams score their runs today. It was the Cincinnati Reds doing the damage with the long ball, and that ends up being the difference, that 3-run shot late in the game.
Day off tomorrow, then that big series in Arlington begins on Friday. Reds win it. They take 2 out of 3, 5-3 the final score. Mariners postgame on the other side.
Hell yeah, boys. Come on.
At Ace,